Some stories never see the light, but their echoes remain. Welcome back to Whispers in the Shadows HQ. The city of Nairobi pulses with life, a vibrant heart beating day and night. But beneath its bustling surface, in the sprawling labyrinthine alleys of Mukuru Njenga, a shadow was lengthening, a darkness that would soon consume the hopes and dreams of dozens, leaving a trail of silent fear in its wake. Between 2022 and 2024, a chilling pattern began to emerge. Women, one after another, started to disappear. They were mothers, daughters, sisters. They were workers, dreamers, survivors, and then they were gone. The community was gripped by a quiet terror. Whispers turned into worried conversations, and worried conversations turned into desperate pleas for help. Missing persons flyers, their edges curled by the humid air, became a common, heartbreaking sight, plastered on corrugated iron walls and wooden posts. Each face on those flyers told a story of a life interrupted, a family torn apart by uncertainty. The police were inundated, but the sprawling, densely populated nature of the slum made their investigation a nightmare. Leads were scarce, and the disappearances continued, each one a fresh wound on the soul of the community. Was it a single predator, or a tragic coincidence of circumstance in a dangerous part of the city? No one knew. The only certainty was the growing number of empty chairs at dinner tables and the haunting silence that replaced laughter in countless homes. Then, a breakthrough. A confession that would send shockwaves not just through Nairobi, but across the nation. The name that emerged from the shadows was Colin's Jumaisi Khalusha. His words were cold, methodical, and utterly horrifying. He admitted to the unthinkable, the murder of more than 40 women. The scale of the confession was staggering, painting a portrait of a predator who had moved among his victims with terrifying ease. According to his own account, Khalusha's method was cruelly simple. He targeted women in the Mukuru area, preying on their trust, their vulnerability, or simply their presence at the wrong place at the wrong time. He would lure them away, promising work, a better opportunity, or perhaps just a friendly conversation. These were women navigating the daily struggles of life, and he exploited their hopes. Once they were isolated, the friendly facade would drop, and their journey would end in the most brutal way imaginable. His confession detailed acts of unspeakable violence, confirming the community's worst fears. The man they may have passed on the street, the unremarkable face in the crowd, was a monster hiding in plain sight. For the investigators, Khalusha's confession was both a victory and the beginning of a grim, monumental task. The case exploded. Evidence rooms filled with files, walls became mosaics of tragedy, covered in photographs of the victims, maps of Mukuru Njenga, and timelines of the disappearances. Red strings crisscrossed the evidence boards, a stark visual representation of the web of death Khalusha had spun, connecting one life to the next in a sequence of horror. Detectives worked around the clock, piecing together the fragments of his confession with the cold, hard facts of each case. Their investigation led them back to the dark, narrow alleyways where many of the victims were last seen. They revisited the grim discovery sites, places that had been marked by crime scene tape months or even years before. Each location was a silent testament to a life cut short. The team had to corroborate every detail of Khalusha's story, a process that involved re-interviewing witnesses, re-examining old evidence, and most painfully, delivering the devastating news to families who had been clinging to a fragile sliver of hope. The confession provided answers, but those answers brought a new, more profound kind of pain. The abstract fear had been given a name and a face, but the loss remained immeasurable. The public reaction was a storm of grief, anger, and disbelief. How could one man be responsible for so much devastation? How could he operate for 2 years, leaving a trail of bodies without being caught sooner? These questions echoed in newspaper headlines, on radio talk shows, and in hushed conversations across Kenya. The case highlighted the vulnerabilities of those living on the margins, the women whose disappearances initially failed to trigger a massive, coordinated response. It forced a national conversation about safety, justice, and the societal blind spots that allow such predators to thrive. For the families of the victims, the news was a double-edged sword. The agonizing uncertainty of a missing loved one was replaced by the horrific certainty of their murder. There was a sense of closure, but it was a brutal, soul-crushing closure. Court proceedings began, and as Khalusha stood before the judiciary, the families had to endure hearing the chilling, emotionless details of their loved one's final moments. Their grief was public, their pain laid bare for the world to see. Yet through it all they displayed immense strength, demanding justice not just for their own, but for all the victims, known and unknown. As the legal process unfolds, the story of Colin's Jumaisi Khalusha serves as a chilling reminder. It reminds us of the darkness that can exist just beneath the surface of everyday life, and the importance of listening to the whispers of fear before they become screams of tragedy. It forces us to ask difficult questions about our communities and our systems. How do we protect the most vulnerable among us? How do we ensure that every missing person is searched for with the same urgency, regardless of their background or where they live? The case is not just about one killer. It's about the societal fractures he exploited. The full extent of Khalusha's crimes may never be truly known. He confessed to over 40 murders, but the nature of his attacks and the transient population of the area have led investigators to fear that the true number could be even higher. Are there other victims whose stories have not yet been told? Other families still waiting for answers, unaware that their loved one's fate is tied to this single, horrifying case. The investigation continues, a grim search for ghosts in a city that never sleeps. 40 victims, one killer. How many more remain unseen? Thank you for joining us in the shadows. If you believe in the importance of telling these stories, please consider subscribing to Whispers in the Shadows HQ and hitting the notification bell. Every story deserves to be heard. Stay safe and stay vigilant.